All right. Time to get started here. Yeah, that was Big Bird popping and locking. He was popping and he was locking. Like a knockoff Big Bird, though. All right, how you been, man? Probably won't have a long stream tonight, but I still wanted to get one in. Guess I'm going to jail. Why are you going to jail? I feel like this is for real. You guys got the name Jelson there. No? Jelson meeting. Jelson. Son of Jel. Regarded as a masculine name. We do not have that. Combination of Portuguese and African origins. Been a long delay. Well, that's your fault, not mine. I don't know what to tell you. You can't set up a joke if there's a delay, right? He's like, I bumped it up. He's taking the bait, and then it takes too long. It takes too long. All right, so what we got going here is we have a way of setting up. You see this this little bad boy here, these little areas here. So these are our stage boundaries we can paint in. When we pass into each boundary, you'll see here it has a set marker for the center point, which is the respawn point. So if we fall out of bounds for an extended period of time out of one of the stage, if we're not in a stage boundary, we're going to count down and then reset the player on the last stage boundary that they were at. And then we're just going to draw these throughout the rest of the stage. My wife is working on the stage tonight. She should hopefully get a bunch of it finished tonight. We are kicking ass. We're working on the player reset. Let me show you what's up. Sorry for the nonsense, I'm just really delayed. So lighting's all messed up right now, I'm sorry about that. Please forgive me and the bad lighting. But we are working on it. We've got some pickup sounds. These are real shitty.
Oof!
Let me back up here.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
Now, we have the dizzy sound is happening a little too early now that we got really fast rotations.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Now we can rotate like a mother effer. Look at that.
Might be enough spinning for one day.
It might be, but I disagree.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
All right. And then we're working on resets. We have the little boost.
All right.
So that needs some work.
Yeehaw!
And
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
what is that about, Cal?
Precious.
And we have the throws. Do another one here. Wait for the bouncing to stop a little bit.
You sure are touched.
Anywho, that's all going. Sorry about
dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
Sorry about Calvin barking. And then we have the reset. Well, if I press R, we'll go back to the reset point that we last were at.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
So that works as well. So if we go into this area, our spawn point will change.
Mercy me, I'm about to tip
Calvin's going under the thing right now. Sorry about that.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
So the way that we're detecting rotation is
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
is glitching when we reset. So anyway, so that we can draw these points into the stage and use them as a bounds for resetting the player. And the voice lines. You like it? I'm doing good, even though I've been away from game dev in a while. Been working at a software house. Nice. It must be nice to get it paid to do this stuff. That must be nice. What's that like? So the way that this works is we go add child node, stage boundary, put it in, and then we just draw some points. So we just use the stage boundary is technically just a path 3D, and we just draw the points in like this. And you'll see here that it just creates it creates the bounds of the stage boundaries there. So, and then down here in the middle, the marker needs some work. But you see here, there's the marker. And so we can adjust the marker to be the facing direction of when you respawn, right? So we'll take the rotation of the marker. We'll lock the area in the collision shape and lock those so we can't edit them. And so we'll have this stage boundary, which is really just a path 3D, that's doing some magic. When we draw the path, it builds out this area 3D and the collision information for detecting whether or not we went inside that area. So what we can try to do right now to kind of test some things is intentionally make the player leave that boundary and then see what happens. We got to set up the timer, the countdown, and all that stuff. I think you need more spinning variety. I think you're right. I have time to add more lines, yeah. I do think there needs to be more spinning variety. I think there needs to be, like, on top of more spinning variety, I think we need the, like, you've been spinning for a really long time and I'm about to hurl kind of voice line, you know, where it's like the player character can't stand it any longer. I know you planned it. That kind of thing. So anyways, yeah, I'm glad you like it, Felipe. I missed you, man. I hope you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're not going to jail. Not that I can think of right away. Not for the jam. I can think of a million for the, like if I make this an actual game, like the character select screen, there's got to be like a little catchphrase that the player says when you pick them. There's got to be like you know, we might need some pass fail. We need like a new high score cheer. This will be a hoot and a holler. Exactly. That's actually probably perfect right there. B2B insurance company, so it's really easy to get my brain off and then study their business model. Not a fan of the paperwork and contracts, but yeah, the software house is cool. I understand that. I used to work at an IT at a bank. I did stuff with them, and I got tired of it. That's for sure. It said I was going to jail because of the Fallout stuff you had when you came back from. Oh. Do not eat a succulent. That's the. This is Democracy Manifest. It's that guy. This is Democracy Manifest. What's the charge? Enjoying a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Alright, gotta go to bed. Alright, M. Shout out to M. Get your hands off my penis! Ah, I see you know your judo well. That guy's fucking great. Okay, so what we're gonna do... I'm leaving at the right time. Damn straight you are. Let's get the leaving the stage, going out of the bounds stuff. And actually, we could just test it by going over here. If we go over here, we're no longer in the area, and it'll reset us. So let's do that. So what we need to detect is when we're not in any area, right? So I guess we need an array. I guess we'll need an array for this. I mean, in theory, we're either in one or the other or passing through the two because they're going to kind of slightly overlap. But we can't be guaranteed of that. If we keep track of the last one we were in... basically, I can't cache this. Unless if I just had an array of every single bound and then just set a flag. That's probably another way to do it. So it'll be dictionary. And instead of in an area, it'll be in... Mud, how are you doing? In boundaries. And I guess this can be an array. I'm good, thanks. I don't think I've talked to you about this yet, but I'm all in on Claude AI right now. Nice. What are you doing with it? So we need to keep track of when we enter and exit. Hypnotic Games with the raid.
Cool. Cool?
Please shut up.
Yeah, cool. You think it's cool? It's cool. It's not cool.
Thank you for the raid. What you been working on? Lots of people coming in. Dex does art. What's up? That gamer, how's it going? Abnormalities. What's up? I'll talk about it on the stream too. Too much to type here. Is it iChives? A-Chives? What's up? Our Bubble Shop sim, setting up the process for buying stock to sell it in the shop. Nice. We're working on doing a player reset system like Lakitu. Something like Lakitu in like Mario Kart. Something like that. Go the recent broadcast.
You bite into this spaghetti, it bites back. Is spicy and
Agree bubbles, nice.
in a makes you wonder what their teachers were doing.
It's a floating head.
The total here is dependent on if we are
You
this.
I've also recently started using the placeholder textures, which I didn't even know about for the longest time. Floating is the best way.
I take that.
Where is my head?
administrator, Ubuntu server mastery, complete Linux training.
Excellent. Nice ass busting. Nice ass busting. Okay, so we're gonna have an array of boundaries that we are going in and out of, and we're gonna connect whether we're entering or exiting said boundaries. I can type. We're working on... Nice, Els. It's going good. We're working on resetting the player positions right now. Give me a second here. I'll just show you what's up with the game so far. There's a few... the shouts... Some of the shouts are too common right now. But essentially... so we're making a paddling inner tube game.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
So you can rotate left or right. You can
Might
paddle...
be enough spinning for one day.
You can paddle forwards or backwards with your left or right hand, right? So if you're going forwards on both hands, it looks like this. Of course, there will be animations playing. If you go backwards with both hands, it's something like this happens. If you alternate one or the other, you go around faster.
In a mason jar.
All right. So there's that. We're going to have pickups that you collect for points.
Sick.
We have these little time gates that you go through to get more time to continue to collect things. We have these jumps over here that give you a boost. And we have beer cans that we can throw at enemies.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
Which don't really do anything just yet.
Might be enough spinning for one day.
And then we go through the time gates. We get points that way. We can throw beer cans. Let me show you that.
I bet you're real proud of yourself.
But that's going to have a whole targeting system that we don't have in place just yet. What we're working on right now is resetting the player back to the stage if they fall out of the stage, which is rare but can happen. It's going to become more commonplace as I start to add and get the jumps all figured out, and the ramps are going to skyrocket you and things like that. So the way that we're doing it right now.
A June bug in a mason jar.
Sorry for the shout. There's a lot of physics stuff that we have to work out. If we hit the reset,
me, I'm about to tip over.
That's M's voice, by the way. So I'm hitting the reset button. That's putting us back to the last boundary area that we entered in. So on our level editor, we've created a tool for us to set the boundary areas. So if we look back on our stage here, let me go back to stage editor. So here on the stage editor, we have these there's these little boxes of, kind of hard to see on the stream, I'd imagine. But you see these outlines of these boxes here, right? If we go outside of these for an extended period of time, we'll reset to the last one we were in. That's where we're getting set up. Maybe we're overthinking this, though, for what I was trying to do. Maybe we just need to know the last one we entered. And whatever that is, that's the one we reset to. Just like I said out loud just now, because I'm a dumbass. Last boundary. And it probably needs a different name. But this will work. Okay. So we set the last boundary. We have it down here in this little piece of code here. Inner stage boundary. We're setting our reset boundary center. No. This isn't the problem we're trying to solve. We need to know when we're not in any boundary. We could do a check every physics step. Because we have this rigid body. Yeah, I know what's rigid. You tell me what's rigid. The voice acting is M Audio. We do shout out to M Audio. She does work. You can pay her to do stuff. I have to wait. I already shouted her out. Shoot. Well, it is an actual game jam deadline, so there is that too. But I'm thinking, Els, that I might do this. I might try to make a game a month. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, like crime YouTube videos, and I have an idea for another game that's totally different than this. It's more in the Papers, Please Return of the Obra Dinn realm. Is this like a failsafe for players clipping through the walls? Yes. Yeah. There's got to be enough game jams to keep you going all year. Yeah, and also I could just set my own limitation of 30 days, you know? But I figure if I do that, I can make turds and make things that aren't quite turds and then figure out what's the not quite turds and then try to polish those ones. Yes, now I have an idea. Yeah, mostly about so the one idea that I have is you're the victim and you're trying to solve the crime. It was this story about this guy who his body was discovered naked behind a Burger King and he had amnesia. And it's the story, the videos of the story about how he like you know, he didn't know his name, but he knew some specific things that he absolutely was very certain about. And it was this whole unraveling and figuring out of who he was. And I thought it would be an interesting idea for a crime style game where you're actually trying to solve your own sort of mystery that you don't know the answer to. It's like we all hang out in the same places. Indeed. And then there's another one that I saw where they were solving a lot of ways that things are solved now is through DNA sampling and genealogy, family history and stuff like that. And so I thought a game where you're going to a town, getting a DNA sample, reverse making correlations with other known DNA, cross samples of other DNA that sort of match it in the same family tree, and then trying to use like a family tree, a game that's basically like piecing together the family trees to target and figure out who the murderer is. I thought something like that could be interesting. Anyways, but on to what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is keep track of.
Gentlemen, this
nice. Thanks for
is
coming in.
Democracy
Introx, thanks for the follow. I gotta go though. All right. See you later. See you around. See you around town. So we are gonna do this. We're gonna do in boundary. So if our in boundary array is empty, this is when we're gonna start counting down. So stage boundary area. Let's take a look at what we can do with rigid body. If we can query the physics server, then I think maybe that might be the way to go. So physics body 3D Godot. Get area, get collision exceptions. No, there's nothing. The physics server we might be able to ask, but I think just keeping track of it ourselves is just an easy way to do it. So we're going to keep track of entering and exiting the stage boundary areas. Again, these are the stage boundaries, these things here. These, the way that this works is it's really simple. You just add a new boundary. So you add a child node called stage boundary. We're going to make this a button. So eventually you'll click on boundaries, because I'm going to have my wife do this. She'll click on boundaries and there'll just be a button here that says add new stage boundary, which does this step where we go right click, add child node, stage boundary. And then it creates a new stage boundary. And then you basically use these dots here, these add points. And we got to make sure that we're top down so that we're setting it on the 0 on the Y. And then you just paint them in. You just tap, 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 like that. And then this is another new stage boundary, and it automatically sets the reset point to the center of all these vectors. The average, sorry. So it averages the vectors, and that's the respawn point that it sets. And we could also set this up that we could manually move it if we don't like where it is. And we also are going to set it up where we can rotate it. The marker needs to be bigger as well. We can fix that too. We haven't done that yet. But so anyways, it creates this physics area that we can detect when we enter and exit that area. I'm going to get rid of this one though, because we kind of want a short distance that we can travel to test this. So basically what should happen once we get this working is when we spawn here, when we go past these 3 here and we enter towards this area where this gate is, we'll be out of any area, any boundary of the stage as it's been defined by us. And so then we're going to start a timer, count it down, and if it counts down to 0 and we're still out of those areas, we snap back to the last area we were in. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Exit stage boundary. Okay. And I guess we need to bind the stage boundary. That's the exit function call too. Yeah, it makes sense. So exit stage boundary, we're going to go down here. Funk. Yeah, Felipe, my approach with Godot has gotten very different since you probably last see me code. I'm starting to go really flat with my structures. I am trying to really avoid most of everything is like I'm starting to favor like monolithic class design for games where it's just one mono class that pretty much is the game. Just more and more I'm just favoring it that way. That sometimes it's unavoidable with things like physics and stuff like that. The object, like a lot of the overrides you have to do on the particular object. So sometimes there's not a way around that. Is it working well to follow along? Everything's in one spot. I like it. It's nice to just go line by line and say, okay, here's what's happening in the game, instead of, okay, then this calls this, and then so that's doing something, but what is it doing? Let me go and check. And then, okay, so then this is, it's, I don't have to do any of that shit. Like the more that I set this up. So what I do end up using the class, like I do subclass only to give class names so that I can describe data structures. So I'm starting to use classes in Godot more like structs than actual, like, I don't use it as like an inheritance kind of thing. Except in the case of like tooling, so like this stage boundary tool is really cool because so this is all just mostly, this is all just for the editor, really, this stuff here. But then we have this update collision shape, and so this only takes, this takes all the vertices inside of our curve that we have on a path 3D, doubles them, puts one lower on the y-axis and one higher on the y-axis, and then we feed all that into a convex shape, and that's what creates the collision shape. And so it happens for us automatically. We draw the outline in 2D, and then it's projected into 3D space by filling a volume, basically. And so this is just when we're editing, when we're doing the level design in Godot. Yeah, it's neat. I'm also, like, I've started to just, like, I don't use timers anymore, because what's the fucking point? You can just store a float somewhere and just count it down. Like, why? Like, I've just found that I don't need to... I don't need, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not using anymore. Because I actually find that there's very rarely, I don't know. I just, yeah, I find more and more I'm not using as much as I thought. Okay, so when we enter and exit, it's funny how you can go full circle on something. So in boundary, you know what I'd love to do is I have my old code, one of the first couple of video games I made in on an Apple II back in the day. I'd really love to do a code review of it. I made Pong using the mouse as the paddle. And I remember the problem I got stuck on, which is laughable now, and I know I could deal with it fairly easily, but I remember just being perplexed by it. I had collisions and everything working, and it was using the mouse, so it was analog. It was super dope. But I didn't know how to get the English on the ball. Like, I didn't understand that problem. I'm like, okay, do I have it curve more when it's only on the outer sides? Do I do it randomly? Like, how do I do this? Because I wanted it to be based on the movement speed of the mouse, that would cause like the ball to curve or whatever. But I had no idea how to do that at the time. So in boundary, we are going to append this stage boundary to this array. And if we're exiting the boundary, we're going to... we have to find it. This is going to return an integer, right? Yep. Backwards. I'm having a stroke. A Pikmin like for your daughter in Catan. Yeah, those are two little experiments. There's so many unfinished ideas that I have on the table. Oh, something else I could show you really quick. Let me show you. I'm working on a Hexagon Machine game. I think you may have seen me do this. It was a jam game that I did in 2 weeks. And now I've started to like kind of polish it. You may remember this. But I've ported it to 3D, and it's a work in progress right now. But it's a Hexagon Matchy game. I think you were here when I was making this back in the day. But we've got it ported to 3D. It's a little glitchy right now. Pay no attention to that. Anyways. There's a bit of a bug there with the tweening. We'll get it fixed. I just changed some things that broke it, but anyways. Yeah, so this is all on 3D now. We're just starting to kind of juice it up. And then I just kind of put that aside and start working on this jam game. And I've done more in this jam game than I've probably done in everything that I've built in total. In terms of volume and output, I'm definitely like... I mean, this is what I was saying. I've said this before on the stream, but if I was getting paid for a job, the way I would work is completely differently. And this is more like how it would be if I was getting paid. So something about this time frame of 30 days seems reasonable. The idea and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I could probably do this. And so this is like, if I was getting paid, this is more like how I would work if I was getting paid, I guess. It's nice. I like you, Felipe. How's Brazil treating you right now? We're starting to... we're making a lot of Brazil-esque moves. Huh? We're doing a bang-up job! Felipe, help us! Alright. Brazil's treating me okay-ish. That's good. Better than not okay-ish, I suppose. So if we find something, so if boundary index does not equal -1, I'm sure there's a enum for -1, right? But I don't know what it is, because it's going to return -1 if it doesn't find anything. But there's got to be an enumerator for this, right? In the global scope somewhere, maybe. But I don't know what it is. So we're just going to use those evil magic numbers that we're making fun of programmers for using now. Because everyone knows not to use a magic number all of a sudden. It's quite weird, to be honest. I mean, I guess food is going to be more expensive there. I don't really get these moves much. I don't either. I think the overall plan is to decrease the value of the dollar so that we move back towards being an export economy again. So essentially the plan is to make us poorer. That appears to be the goal. Because we want to bring back those jobs. So we got to make everyone not have any money anymore, which is always a good thing. I suppose it's a great idea. Why not to industrialize first? But that's going backwards. See, we're describing this current administration is describing a backwards movement as progress. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's like, yeah, we're post-industrial. We're getting past that in a lot of ways, and then it's like, oh hey, let's just go back to that. Let's everyone work back in the factories again. That was fun. Let's all do that. Your kids are going to work in factories. It's gonna be great. Boundary index, blah blah blah. So if it does not equal -1, then we are going to remove from in boundary. Boundary index. Or is it erase? It's erase. Okay. So, then what we do, now that we're doing this, and I guess the thing that we should do here is just double check that we don't have this when we append it, just to be safe. So we could do almost the opposite here. Actually, no. So if the boundary index equals -1, then we append because it doesn't exist. That way we don't accidentally add it twice, since we're dealing with an array and not a dictionary. Now the cost of this, I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'm not sure if this is more or less expensive, but we have such a small array. I don't think it's going to fucking matter. I don't think it's going to matter. So then what we do is in boundaries here, we check the size on our process step. And if the size is, and I just throw it in. So if in boundary size is equal to 0, then we are out of bounds. So let's set a breakpoint here. So in theory, we'll only hit this when we're out of bounds. Now there may be a race condition that starts initially where we actually hit the breakpoint. Let's see. No. Okay. And let's go ahead and set breaks in here when we enter and exit these boundaries. Okay. And we'll do them inside these conditions. Okay. And now we're leaving one, and so we're erasing. Okay. And now we should hit a break. So we're appending. Oh no, this isn't the breakpoint
I
yet.
think I'm gonna be sick.
We're erasing the other one because we're leaving that one.
Yeehaw!
And now we're erasing this one. So now we should break on the process step, which we are not.
Woo!
So let's check here and see what's wrong with...
Might be enough spinning for one day.
Check the in boundary. Erase size is 3. So is erase not doing what we're thinking? I don't think erase is doing what we're thinking. Finds and removes the first occurrence of the value in the array. If the value does not exist in the array, nothing happens. To remove an element, use remove at. So we're doing the wrong thing. Remove at. That's what we want to do because we have the index. Okay. So let's try this again real quick and cross our fingers. I think we're modeled after Pixar Mamas. She's got those Pixar curves Where when you're watching The Incredibles, you feel incredibly odd looking at Mrs. Incredible, and you're like, should I be having these thoughts about Mrs. Incredible? I'm not sure this is right. This is it's for children.
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
But she's got a Mrs. Incredible body. Let's say that.
Let's go.
For the Gooners. There we go. So we got our breakpoint. So we're out of boundary. So this basically, when this is true, we start counting down. Okay. So. Out of. Or count up. How did that? Out of bounds time is a float, and it's going to start out at 0, and then we're going to create an enum for our oh dude, Felipe, the other thing too is I'm a big believer in single load, where as much as you can front load everything in the game at the beginning, and then cache everything and never load anything after that. When you can. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but especially if you're making a small game, you should be able to do it. And like reducing queue freeze and stuff like that, and almost having them down to 0. That's my style, baby. So I end up with a lot of orphans, even though they're not technically orphaned. They're just not on the scene tree. So game mechanics will do an export here for a variable. Loading stuff mid-game is annoying. Well, and you just never know on someone's piss-poor machine. You're asking a lot. Especially, I mean, the other thing too is to try and put everything on Atlases as much as possible for people's shitty-ass GPU. Like, you want to consider those things, because you can triple performance. I've done that, where I've tripled the performance. Like that one game I showed you, I've got a crappy laptop, but it's flying at like 300 frames per second right now, and this one runs at least 60 on my crapper. And I mean, it's doing the waves, and the you can't really tell, but the clouds are dynamic, and there's dynamic time of day, and the stars come out, the moon comes out, and all this shit, and it's running fine. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to kind of have an opinion on some of this stuff with over time. That's starting to solidify more, because before that it was more like, I don't know, how do I do this? I don't know. Now I guess we could do this as because this isn't something we really need to test too much, so we could do it as a constant, and the constant is const out of bounds countdown time is a float, and let's say, I don't know, 3 seconds. Let's say 5 seconds. Out of bounds countdown time is 5 seconds. If we are out of bounds, so we're going to have a var out of bounds bool. And out of bounds is false the minute that we are appending anything. And then we set out of bounds to true the minute we detect we're out of the bounds of something. So if we go back over here and we say in boundary size is 0, we say out of bounds equals true. And we can say if we're not out of bounds and are in boundary size. So now we can test this bool before we do a size. And since this is another little performance thing, right? Since this is a Boolean check, if this is not what we want, then we don't ever run the size function. So on the process step, we're just checking the value of a bool, which is way cheaper than doing a size check every frame or every process step. So, so now, if we are out of bounds, then and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna set the time for the timer, and we'll count it down, or we could count it up. I don't know. What do you guys think? We could count up. I guess we are counting up, but we are counting down. If we're gonna reflect this time. Should it be starting at 5, 4, 3? I think it should, right? So we'll say out of bounds time equals out of bounds countdown time. So we just set the out of bounds time to the countdown time. And then if we are out of bounds, we'd say out of bounds time minus equal delta. And then if out of bounds time is less than or equal to 0, then we reset. And so now this is where we call what we normally call when we're pressing the R button right now, which is the reset. Which is right here, reset player. So we call this function here. So the first thing we'll do is make sure we still hit this. Then we'll make sure that we're hitting this. And then we'll see if we fire off reset player.
Yeehaw!
We might have left the breakpoints when we're switching areas, but I don't think so. No, we got rid of them.
Woo!
We're bouncing! Okay, so we're out of bounds. Out of bounds is true. We're setting our out of bounds time. Bam, out of bounds time. Let's check out of bounds time. Just make sure that's right. It is. And then we should be counting it down. I'll set a break on reset player.
I'm this
So
here
5,
a June bug in a
4,
mason jar.
3, 2, 1, and then we hit reset player, and bam, we get reset back to where we were. So that's the idea. So this should work now. It just means that we have to paint these out of bounds regions in our stage, which we haven't done yet. And I guess what we could work on is the UI of having the countdown and everything like that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mercy
and then
me,
it's gonna
I'm
reset
about
us.
to
So
tip over.
it works. It's working. All right. Jacob would be proud. I don't think Jacob's here right now, but I know he was worried about I was going to go down a time sink, but I think we managed to avoid that, and we have a really lovely solution. I got to say, I'm very happy with it. It's a tremendous solution. It's amazing.
Might be enough spinning for one day.
We got to fix that though. She's shouting about spinning quite a lot. I gotta change the. It's alive. Yeah, we gotta adjust that. So the other thing we need to do is our mark size. We are our marker 3D. So this really should only exist inside the editor, not in the. By the way, we need to double check. I need to double check the is editor. I don't know where this is calling from. It's from engine. is editor hint. Is it okay to do returns true if the script is currently running inside the editor, otherwise false? This is useful for tool scripts to conditionally draw editor helpers or prevent accidentally running game code that would affect the scene state while in the editor. Okay, so this is exactly what we need. Okay, so if it is editor, then we're going to add child marker. Otherwise, we're not doing this. And then we want to make sure that marker stays editable, yes. And then we just kind of want to go through and see if there's any other place that we're doing marker. We do change the marker position down here. And we only want to do this if we're editor, because otherwise marker it's not gonna really matter. It was great seeing you again, bro. Gotta go now. Have a good have to sleep night. Yeah, have a good one. Hopefully I'll catch you online more. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So we're not going to do it on ready on this one because we don't want this to consume space if we're not an editor. So then we're going to say marker equals marker 3D new only when we are in the editor. Like that. So then again we can just double check to see if we have it anywhere else. No. So we're okay now. This is going to burn us if we're not careful though. We have to think about this and know this is the case. Okay, so the one thing we do want to do... I'm glad you're doing good though, man. Is extend the gizmo extents. You gotta show an interest. You gotta extend that helping hand. You know, he's been listening to that hippie hop music. Left my wallet in El Segundo. Alright. So this is now the marker. Left my wallet in El Segundo. You don't want to be tried and found wanting. Don't want to be tried and found wanting. Gizmo extents. A magic number. Those we get to laugh and clip my videos and make fun of me because of that. Go ahead and do that, guys. I don't care. Is it all? So much yellow. Yeah, there's a lot of yellow. You're yellow. I don't know what that means. Is that coward? You're yellow. Oh man. How's it going, Sorrow? He's yellow. All right. Gizmo extends. Marker. So we're only adding the marker here. And then we don't want the marker to be... We do want the marker to be editable. We don't want the area to be editable. False. Set editable instance. The owner is the scene tree. It's not editable, and neither is the collision shape. So we can't change these things. So if we close and reopen stage, hopefully this just works. I didn't do it. And it might be because it already existed. But we are clearing it out. Curiouser and Curiouser. What if we just delete these? Save. Close. Reopen. So we should see a lock next to these things, I feel like. Get tree, edit scene root. Area owner, edit scene root. The root of the scene that is currently being edited. And these things also set editable instance. Set to true, allow nodes owned by this node to be available and editable in the scene doc, even if the owner is not the scene root. This method is intended to be used in editor plugins and tools, but it also works in release builds. See also is editable instance. Set editable instance. So this isn't the same as locking. What are we inside of right now? Is this node? Yeah. Is there a lock? No. So there's no, I don't know that there's a procedural way to set a lock on, what do they call it? Lock selected nodes. Yeah, see, I feel like if I'm is editable false, that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I shouldn't be able to do that. Script. Brother! Finding out from my brother if we're playing Warhammer tonight. Brother! Brother! Are you here, Els? I have, Sorrow, what's... Brother! I said I did this earlier.
Sit down and have fun. Just sit down and have fun.
No, I know Els plays Warhammer, so I was going to ask him a question. Driftwood Sound, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. All right, well, regardless, it's not doing what we want. I'd like to be able to just click on the marker and move it, and all that stuff. But we do have bigger markers now. You see how big the markers are? Why is there one here? Brother, I'm not well, brother. It's chaos. I've been poisoned, brother. There we go. So we can just keep setting these all along the watchtower. Is any Bob Dylan fans out there? And let's really try and break this, because we're doing this for a reason. And I have been able to fall out of the stage before, especially with this. The boat is the way out. The boat is the key of all this. If we can get the boat working.
Might be enough spinning for one day.
Let me see if I can go over here, get to the boat.
Oh! I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
There we go. If I can get under the boat.
Oof!
Can we get under it and then get under the stage?
Might be enough spinning for one day.
Yeah, we got to change that spinning. That spinning shout is happening too early.
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
I've said that so I've said that a million times, but I actually need to do it.
Oh.
The little she gives is so great.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
Look at that boat showing off. All right, can we fall out of the stage somehow? Well, we are right now, so why aren't we resetting?
Mercy
There we
me,
go.
I'm about to tip over.
There we go. So it does work. I think we can just trust it. Can I trust my code? I don't know. I think I did it, though. I think we have it. Excellent, brother. We've done it. What's going on here? Oh, also just don't use print statements. Always use print debug. Like print is for if you're making a command line program. Right? You want something to show up in the terminal somewhere. Otherwise, just use print debug. That way it only shows up on debugs, right? Only problem with print debug is it's a little bit noisy. I wonder, can you tell it to chill out a little bit? I don't know. Nope. You cannot tell it to chill out. In fact, it is quite noisy. Okay. Brother! Where's my music? We're in dead silent. I'm doing good, Driftwood. We need some music. Oh, I got the bottom of the tea. Oh. Oh, man. Made a big thing of iced tea in like a giant pitcher. And I got some of the leaves down at the bottom, the little floaters that sink to the bottom. Little bit like I just ate some dirt. It's okay. We're okay. Old man snot nose from laughing, breathe laughing. Excellent. Let's see. See here, go forward. So this is called Organic House Melodic Tribal Mix. Michika with a friend playing Donkey Kong. Backroom tapes number 1. So, hey. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Well, are we done with the dryer? Okay, well, let's turn off the lights, and I'll end the stream soon. Anyways. No, I was gonna play with Brandon. So I'll end the stream soon, and she can. He's a good boy. He'll snuggle with her. Yeah. I'll be real excited about it. Okay, my daughter can't sleep. She's coming downstairs. She's gonna snuggle with Calvin. Okay, let's commit what we've done. Actually, you know what? I haven't committed anything today. Oh no! Crap! Crap! What was it? InnerTube. InnerTube Warrior 3D Sim 9000 is the code name for this game. Shit. Oh god. What have I done? Oh Lord. You know what? We were only working on boundaries today. We were only working on boundaries, so I don't think it's actually that bad. Oh, okay, so before we commit, we need to rename. He's just excited. He's just excited. All right. Well, I'll lower the brightness of the light here, sweetie, so that that's not too bright for you. Okay. He just has to relax. He's just excited. This is new for him. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Oh, I'm frozen. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, next we're going to skip on to the boat movement. Excuse me. So the boat movement... I'll show you guys what's going on with this thing. We did this the most, like, grug way possible. A really dumb, stupid way that got it going, but it still needs some love. Let me show you that. Excuse me. All right. So let's expose what's happening with the boat. So on our stage editor, which is getting more and more complex as we move along here, can we lock? What happens if we lock this? Does it affect all the children? So we can still change this stuff. I think we may need to start using visible and make these into Node 3Ds just so we can hide them. And so if we make it into a Node 3D, we can just go like this. And then they just go away. That's going to require us to change a couple of things to make that work really well for us. So, but I think that's what we're going to want to do just for the sanity of the level editing.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, the boats. Now there were vessels. Where are they? Land? Collectibles. Where is vessels? Well, here's one right here. Oh, it got moved inside of somehow. That's weird. Okay. So we have this path follow 3D. If we add a cube to it, we'll be able to see what it does, and we'll be able to expose what this boat is doing. So let's just put a cube on it. If you want it, then you better put a cube on it. Where's the... there it is. Okay. And then we'll put another one on this one. There's the cube. Okay, so watch what happens here when we run the game. You kind of get an idea of what's happening with the boat. So we have a path follow, and we're applying forces to the boat through physics to try and keep up with this cube. Okay? I didn't do any curves or anything on the path, so you see it kind of wigging out. So this has a lot of problems.
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
So I think the way that we're actually going to want to do it is that the boat has... Okay. So the path 3D is in front, like the point at which is some distance in front of its current location in terms of what its facing direction is, or like what we determine the forward direction of the path is. So We're gonna reset here.
Woo!
But
Woohoo!
so the boat has to make it have more natural movement. It's gonna start heading towards that path direction, and then once it's caught up to it, the path then projects forward a bit from the boat. Like it's the boat speed is what's kiting the it's like a carrot more than like a carrot on a stick in front of the boat, instead of the boat trying to chase something like a dog chasing a cat. Real technical terminology I'm using right now. Okay.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar.
Are we inside an area right now? I don't know how far I put everything.
I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
we are.
sick.
Okay. See, everything just works. We're making a video game. Making a video game, Jim. You feeling better now? I do need a mini map. My daughter has pointed out we need a mini map, and she is 100% correct. I do need a mini map. Oh, by the way, guys, K-Kit's K-Kit's models are on sale right now on itch. A real video game? Exactly. Pandar. Yeah, I do. We do need to get a mini map going. I gotta get a way to create the thumbnail for it, Jim. Make a Mapsy map and just a mini viewport for the game. That's Maxi map. Is that a technical term? Yeah, my wife hasn't even seen the hot babe.
I'm
There she
dizzier
is.
than a June bug in a mason jar.
No, just the opposite of a mini map.
Miss Craig
Oh,
is
it's like
trying
the
to get a hold
zoomed
of
in
you.
map. It's like a zoomed in area. Maxi map. That just makes me feel like I have to go pick up something for my sisters at the grocery store real awkwardly
I think
when you
I'm
say
gonna be
maxi map.
sick.
Make the game 99% map, 1% game viewport. I see what you're saying. So like just a cropped section of the map. What I need to be able to do, Pandar, is somehow get an orthogonal projection of the map like this, and basically make a texture out of it, snapshot a texture of it, and then project our space. That's not impossible. I just don't know a very clean way to do it. If we're using a viewport and it's square, and we base it off center, I don't know. I think we'll be okay, but I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, so for the boat, like right here again, we're chasing, right? We're trying to keep up with that, with this point in space. That's why we get this, see this overcorrecting right here? And then it can still bump into the stage.
Mercy me, I'm about to tip over. Oh!
Oh my god.
I'm dizzier than a June bug in a mason jar. Bless his heart.
And we can throw those beer cans. I love the sound effects of that.
I bet you're real proud of yourself. Might be enough spinning for one day.
So yeah, basically we're gonna always keep a certain amount of distance away from the boat. And then what we need is, if the boat isn't is too far away from the path position.
Oof!
We need to give it a little bit of an AI, some sort of pathfinding. Just a little bit. To find its way back to the point on it. But I don't think we have time for that. That's if we're making an actual game. And if we're making an actual game, I think the way I'm going to do the boats, if I do boats, is going to be completely different. But, so how do we do this? Are we constantly measuring? Do we put... I mean, there's a couple of different ways to do this, right? We could put an area that moves along the path follow, that when it detects the boat is not in the area, that it stops, and the boat has a chance to catch up. So we could do it that way. So, so there would be like inside the path follow. Do it on this one. If we make an area 3D and then we throw in, but see, we're using physics for an awful lot when I think math would just do for it. Collision shape. I think it's as simple as just measuring the distance between two vertical, like on a 2D plane, two X and Y coordinates and the distance of the line between the two, the distance between the 2 points. And just using that as a way of determining whether or not we need to stop the movement of the area 3D. Why are we having problems with music? YouTube is just not liking me right now. Wow, we're all the way down in 144p. Man, they really don't want you to do ad blocking anymore, do they? They're punishing me hardcore. Um, Tons of drop frames. Why is it going on? Stream reconnecting? All right, I think I figured out why we're having so many problems with the network. We were on the Wi-Fi. My dog had unplugged the Ethernet and I didn't know it. So, problem solved. That's been 3 days of me wondering what the hell's been going on. Not troubleshooting anything.
Oh. Mercy me, I'm about to tip over.
Let me double check to make sure the stream is up.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
It's not. Be back. I just figured out why my stream was giving me some problems. It looks like the Ethernet was unplugged, and I was running on wireless, which is like on the motherboard. It's real crappy wireless. It's but so that's what's been going on the past like 2 days, and I feel like a dummy, but I never bothered to check. So I think we're okay now. Probably lost a lot of you. But that's all right. But actually, I think I'm going to end it here. I think I'm going to call it. Because we're at a point now where we would switch over to doing the boat. And we'll get that started tomorrow. And usually when these resets happen with a network, it really throws me off for some reason. So yeah, I think I'll go from here. We'll end it tonight. So go ahead and I don't know. Maybe I could keep going. What do you guys think? You know what? I'm going to keep going. As soon as my buddy says he wants to play Warhammer, though, I'm out. All right, Todd, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I'm playing Space Marines 2 with my buddy, and I'm having a blast. I don't know anything about Warhammer, but it's starting to rub off on me. I'm like, does that mean this? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. Is that a fictional metal in the game? Yes. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. All right. Brother! No, also, you have to say brother a lot. Brother! All right. Well, it's noisy. So this is happening because this is sort of a race condition as well. It still works, but we do get this engine error because we're adding it and then we're immediately adjusting its global position, but it hasn't quite finished being added to the scene tree. Uh-oh, did we lose? Did I lose the network connection already again? Is the stream gone? Let's see. I'm getting all these errors that I probably shouldn't be getting right now. It looks like it's working. Damn, the fidelity of the stream now, huh? It's looking good. Anyways. Creepy. Creepy ass stuff. Alright. So the boat. What if we use distance as a way of increasing? If we have a fixed speed for the boat, like let's imagine the driver of the boat has a lead foot, right? And it's caught up to this invisible line, this invisible distance for the area. I think what we need to do is mess around with this. We just need some variables that are exported and exposed to us that we can just start tweaking and see what it does. I think that's our best bet. So game mechanics here. We're going to add something called, I don't know. Boat. Boat. Path follow.
Oh!
We're getting hit by the boat right now. Path follow distance.
Ooh.
We'll say 10. No, that's too far. 1. Okay. So we'll start out at 1. You know what it could do? Okay, this is a crazy idea. Let me draw this out. Slow it up. So, this is me doing design for the... I don't even know what to call it. Okay, so we have the boat. Here's our boat. Here's our boat. No, the boat's going to be this. And then this is the path follow point. Right, and it's going along some sort of path. Like this, right? It's an enclosed loop. Okay. So then we have some sort of line that is an invisible distance amount. If we thought of this circle or just a start and end point, but if we think of this as the speedometer, if our point, if we're drawing a line from the center point here towards the center point here, of some length, right? Maybe it's longer than it is. It's getting towards this sphere, not sphere, but this circle area, right? And you think of it as a speedometer or the foot on the gas. If it's towards, it's further away from the center point of the circle on the direction that it's going, then we need to increase our speed slightly, or decrease the speed of the circle is one way to put it. All right, so we slow the circle down, and if it's like this, then we need to speed the circle up to try and keep this point, this line that we're constantly testing from the center point here towards the center point of the circle. We're trying to slow down and speed up the area, the path follow point, so that we're actually giving it a direction to go, matching the speed of the boat. I guess what we could do is just not even be smart about this and just say it should be here, it should be here, it should be here, and just set it. So path follow distance is probably all we need then if we're going to do it that way. We don't need to worry about speed. And the way this should work is this a cover of That's funny. Path follow distance. So on stage we have the vessels, boat speed. So this is our logic right now. And this is so how should...
Oh.
So right now in the game code, we are tweening the path follow ourselves, right? There's the collectible paths. There's our gate. There's our stage boundaries. How does this work? Vessel. So we're just doing it on a process step. So this can go in the game code. So we have progress. What else do we have on it? We have the literal meters along the. That's what we're doing. We're just adding that, but then we also have progress ratio, which goes from 0 to 1. Well, yeah. What makes this kind of weird is that we're using physics to apply forces to make the boat go, right? So, and also this just needs some work. The vessel, we gave it a path follow that it follows, which is fine. We can have multiple path follows in the same path 3D, which is fine. So meaning we could have like dozens of boats following the same path. As long as they're going the same speed, it should be very unlikely that they'll hit each other. But it's this path follow progress that's trying to think of scenarios that can screw this up. If we say if we say that we're some distance away from it, and then if that's true, we move the path along, this is as much true as this is. And so, but we're trying to keep our distance. So it's really if we're too close, right? So if our distance isn't further enough away, we keep moving the path. How about that? I think it's as easy as that. We have another one, so. He's R2 Cal2 now. Cal2 R2? Okay, so let's do it that way then. So this is going to go on the global process, whatever you want to call it. And then we need to get the children. Ugh, this is kind of a mess. We have our vessels here. An array of vessels. That's what we'll do. We'll build the array out first. How about that? Yeah, this is the process thing that we're trying to get to. So if we go through and we get children of vessels, so do we have that? We don't, so we need vessels. And then we assign it like that. And we're going to comment this stuff out here. So for vessel node in stage vessels get children, if vessel is vessel. So this is a little weird. Don't worry about it. This. Video Vinny, what's up? Watching the Codemaster, learning some stuff. Well, we're not sure what we're doing right now, so we'll see. We'll see here. So we're just building out an array of vessels right now. Do we want an array of vessels? No, we want the paths that no, but we have a pointer to the path in the vessel. See, this is a little bit of a mess. This is a little bit of a mess right now. So don't do what I'm doing right now. This is a little bit of a mess. We're just gonna throw it down here. Var vessels is an array of vessels. Easy peasy. Vessel. Alright, so then when we find a vessel, we append it to the array. Okay, so now we have an array of vessels. This is why we're going to do this here. Okay, so now we're going to for loop the vessels on the process step. So for vessel in vessels. So for each vessel, and now we're getting close to what we want to do. What the hell? So in here we're doing something. Oh, I have another window open. Codemaster is making a JavaScript app. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Codemaster. I don't know who that is. My bad. I'm kidding. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm so confused. All right. So then we got to measure the distance. We have some arbitrary distance, right? We're making it 1 right now. We had it set up here as a const. Or not a const, an exposed variable, an export, both path follow distance 1. So this is what we're going to use to adjust the distance of the path follow to increase or decrease it. So we go here. And if the vessel global position distance squared to path follow global position is less than path follow, what was it? Boat path follow distance, then we set a breakpoint here and we know that we have reached the goal that we're trying to figure out here. Let's make sure we're adding the vessels first. So we want to make sure this is occurring. We should hit that breakpoint twice. And then we'll we'll see what happens. Just watching Papa. He's obsessed. Okay, so we're appending vessel 1, vessel 2, and we're done. Okay, now, boom. Invalid access to property or key global position on base object null. Vessel global position. Oh, path follow. Yeah, this is going to be null. So it's vessel... Vessel pass follow. Like that. Okay, so far everything's going swimmingly. We're adding the vessels to the array. And then bam, we have the breakpoint. So now we know that we're shorter than 1 meter away. Here, shorter than this distance, right? And now we can start to adjust that in our editor. Right here. Boat path follow distance. We can change this number in real time and see what effect it has. We probably need to have a speed amount. Now, is there a way we can measure the entire distance of our path so that we know how much of a percentage to move it to make us be a certain... We can roughly estimate? Yeah, so this guy's stuff is 50% off, a lot of it. Look at this. I would recommend it right now to check out his stuff, and if you're eager to buy any of it, to do it now. It's 50% off. I'll throw it on itch. Or I'll throw it on the chat right now. Great stuff. If you buy the bits bundle, it's 33% off, but it might be a better deal to buy the individual bits by themselves. I think this still might be the better. You might want to compare the price of this versus the price of all these individually, because this contains all of them. But the rest of these, most of these are 50% off. And he just added these 2 new guys today, I think. Look at these. These are cool. All right. So we're getting there. Shit, guys. I'm glad I gave myself 15 days to do all this because... Dear God, I would, this would sneak up on me, no doubt. Progress ratio. The game encryption thing. We did get the encryption working. The automatic decryptor thing that was supposed to find the key doesn't work on my encryption, so I don't know what's different about it. But I think that what I'll do in the future is I'm gonna use a code scrambler on the source code of Godot, and then for that build, that's what I'll build the encryption export scripts on that, and then that should make it so that, so long as I can scramble it, I might have to also have a custom build of Godot for myself as well for that to work completely. But for the exports, that should prevent, that should do a lot. But I was able to do encryption, successful encryption on the Windows exports and on the web exports. Now there's a single comment on the internet saying that the web export is easy to break by just finding one little piece of text. But nobody has said where that is and that it actually exists. It's just somebody making a comment. So I looked through the stuff that I found on the web build, and I can't seem to find where that one little line would be on my export. So, but what I'm going to do is use a unique key for each export. For the web export, for the Windows export, for the Linux export, and Mac export. The other thing about it too, I'll show this to you. This is going to show my key if I'm not careful. Over here. There's something called an initialization seed, a vector seed. And this is a random number that you can put in that you need to change between every release. Right. And so when you add, yeah, I agree with that. And when you add that to the export, they can't look at your prior, like if you're using the same encryption key for every release, they can't compare them to figure out, to find patterns in it. Because you have this initialization vector seed that breaks the repeating nature. Like if you have something that repeats, even in the thing that it's being, the thing that you're encoding, it'll mask that repetition to make it harder to catch. But it does work. I tried using the cracking tools that are out there, and the one main one that I know the mobile guys are using to steal people's games, it immediately is like, dude, I can't touch this. What's the encryption key? Like, you got to give me that first. So it's a really good sign. And of course, there's nobody stopping it from scraping the game running in memory or something, right? But I mean, at that point, it's like, okay, fine. The main thing is to really just try and deter the script kiddies from just coming in and yanking the game out from under me. Because I mean, there really is no stopping it, but you can make it a little bit harder. Yeah, but yeah, you just you download the Godot source code, and then you do a custom build for each export, and then you import in your project. When you go to export, you on advanced, so you turn on advanced options, and then these custom templates. This is what you point it to your custom templates that you compile from the Godot source with a global variable that has the key that you're using. Then on the encryption tab, you put the same key inside there, and that's how you get it to correctly encrypt the export. And so it does work. So we're looking at path follow. And we have progress and progress ratio. Rotation mode. What is this? No, we don't care about that. Tilt enable. Use model front. V offset. H offset. The node's offset along the curve. Oh, I see. You know what we could do is just add... Oh, I think I know what we could do. This is pretty straightforward. So... the distance to... Oh, let me remote it to your machine. Okay, you should get a prompt, Miss Cricket. Okay, you should get a prompt now. Sync thing. I have a NAS. It has its own. I just need to see your desktop. I appreciate the recommendation. Yeah, the NAS I'm using has a syncing tool. Open Discord now. It should be on the bottom right of the computer, like a notification window. I'll come over. I'll be right there. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Please sit down and have fun. Just sit down and have fun, damn it.
Vahoyer, thanks for the follow. Oh, it just popped up? Okay. Okay, so just say yes to that. I think my router might be dying. My wireless router. It's pretty old. Loading. Okay. Don't worry, it'll go. Alright, so if we have this distance, let's see, the var distance to path follow vector 3. Okay. So, oh, it's not a distance squared 2. It's going to be a float. Sorry, float. So then we can get rid of this. All right. Now, what we can do is we can take the difference between the two, and in that case, we don't even need to do a comparison because we're either going to get a positive or a negative number, right? It's doing exactly what I was describing, just using some math. Why not the router? Okay, it didn't work. All right, sweetie, I'm gonna head over there. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta try and get something set up for my wife. Oh, it did? Okay, let me try it one more time. It might have just been that I needed to do something and I didn't. So we'll try again. Okay, so it's trying to authorize. I'll leave the window open here. And there we go. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Can I move anything? Desktop is currently viewed. Oh, I can't control it. Can you allow control? Can you click on the... Oh, wait. There we go. If you're moving the mouse, could you stop moving the mouse? Thank you. All right. Oh, you know what? You know what it is? It's on game. Okay, sorry, sweetie. Give me a second. There we go. All right, there you go. Is that good? Don't forget to save. No problem. Save early and save often. So then we don't need the distance. We don't need the distance to path follow. So let's think about this. Distance to path follow. If we subtract let's say we're further behind, so we're a larger number, and we subtract path follow distance. So let's say our distance to path follow is 3, and we're subtracting 1 because that's our path follow distance. That gives us a remainder of 2. A result of 2, right? That's the so if we start out with the path follow distance and then subtract the distance to follow, so if the number is 1, we subtract 3, we have -2. We subtract that from the vessel's path follow. Let's try it. We'll do it that way. So we're just going to constantly be setting. It'll look like this. So vessel path follow progress. So this is in meters. Plus equals both boat path follow distance minus distance to path follow. Expected end of statement after expression found a semicolon instead, or colon instead. So okay, there we go. All right. And we still need to visualize this. We have the cube. Le cube. So let's just make sure we're hitting this. And then we're just going to let the game play and see what it's doing. Because I honestly don't know what this math is actually doing for that. There goes the cube. It's flying all over the place. Huh. Boat follow progress. Distance from the first vertex. This is
Ooh.
every process step this is happening.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Look
Might
at
be
it.
enough spinning for one day.
Let's flop it around. Look at that. Oh. Let's see what our number is. Is it delta needed? Might be right. Not sure whether to multiply or there it goes. Whoa! So delta seems to be helping. Let's flip the script on the... There it goes. It's slowly moving. Let's increase that distance. To like 2. Look at that. There's something we're not understanding. No, the cube is not a collidable element. It's just representing... Why is it... Okay. It's like exponentially... Yeah. And we're trying to set its progress, which is in meters. No, we don't. We're on at a consistent distance from the boat. Which is a little hard to do. Right. Yeah, this makes sense actually, why this is happening. It should only be a positive number. Because you see how it's flipping? We only want it to go in one direction. So let's wrap this in ABS. I think this is going to help. So now we can only go forward. Let's try 6. Okay, let's try 7. All right, 8. Nine. How would you like the boat to behave? Well, the problem is we're dealing with physics for propulsion on the boat. That's how we get it to bounce on the waves and all that stuff, right? You know what we could do? Now that I'm learning about overriding physics. Hang on a second. Holy shit, hang on. I think we can do this. I think we can do this. We figured out how to enable more supports and got the print going again. Nice. I think we can do this. I think, okay, so when we reset the, let's look at the word reset here in our code. We reset player. So right here, we set the body state.
Oh!
And we're resetting, we're setting the global, the transform. So let's do that. Let's travel the path. The path will set the speed of the boat. And so path follow progress will just be, for now, we'll just add delta. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say physics body vessel get RID, and vessel should be, I believe, is a rigid body. Yes. Okay. 3 streams in a row. I know we did lose the stream though halfway. in the middle of the nighttime stream though. But yeah, I'm going, dude. I want to get this done. I feel like this is going to be the one. This is not that it's going to sell well. I don't think that, actually. I don't really believe that. But I feel like this is the one that I'm going to be able to put my little stamp on it and be like, hey, this is my game. And put it on Steam. Cricket's Jam win. That's one of the reasons why I was so found this jam so appealing is it's what I was saying. I wanted to do a high score jam. This might just do it. So what we're going to do is we slowly progress the path follow. We'll set a speed right now, but we're just using delta. So it's literally 1 second is 1 meter. Okay. And then what we're doing is we're taking on the physics server, we're taking the vessel and we're just transforming our position to that path, and the rest of the physics stuff will just happen. This might cause some weirdness. Yeah, okay, so now we're not okay. So now the boat is going along the path, but we want the bouncing and everything, right? So what we don't want to do, how can we do this intelligently? Is there a way we can just set I can't lerp it because it's a physics body. Oh yeah, this is new. This just happened, Red. Thanks for calling it out, though. So it's about the origin being equal. Because it's happening so much. We're running this in the process step, too. So this should probably be on the physics step. So physics process, and then we'll do this. The transform's origin and target cannot be equal. So if they're the same, it's mad at us, right? So the way to fix that is we go and we compare if vessel global position does not equal the path follow global position, then we adjust it. And that should get rid of that error message, and Redstone can shut up. How you doing, Red? Okay. Alright, so those errors are gone. Hey, we're starting to bounce up and down. Look at that. We're going along the water like we're a boat. I'm a boat! I'm a boat! So here's what we're going to do. For the transform, we're only going to set... so vector... My name is Vector. We're going to set X and Z to this. And we're going to keep the Y to the boat's Y. So vessel... global position Y, and then Z. And so hopefully this will give us our bounce back. Look at that. So now we need to just match the holy crap, guys. We are learning. We are learning. So now we just want to match our rotation with this object's rotation, and then we can increase the speed and set it to whatever we want. And the boat will literally snap to that position. So the only thing that doesn't give us is it's now Like if we bump into it, it's just like a hard body in
I
space.
think I'm gonna be sick.
So it's almost like it's a static
Let's
body.
roll, sugar.
It's almost like it's a static body. Woo, 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 woo.
Might be enough spinning for one day.
And now it's gonna look at that. What? Because it's still doing physics. It just flew up into outer space. Now it's bouncing like crazy. Okay. Thanks, Vidya. It needs work though. All right. You can probably look at it on the boat to keep it facing the fall. Possibly, but I think what we can do is actually just get the facing direction of the path. So if I think we can do this real quick. We'll do it real quick here. So we'll do another body set state. And then I gotta go. The RID body state. It's the entire transform. So there's transform identity. Basis. The identity transform 3D. This is the transform with no translation, no rotation, and a scale of vect 1. Its basis is equal to basis identity. This also means that X points right, Y points up, and Z points back. So body sets shape. Here we go. Set state. Body state is body state. Transform. Linear velocity, angular velocity. Set, get the transform. Okay, we're getting close, guys. Physics server body state transform. The transform matrix of the body. And then we're just saying identity. Ah, I see. So if we're adjusting a transform 3D here, and this returns a transform, this is a transform. So then we're gonna say var boat transform. Transform 3D. And then we put it in here. You can get rid of this. And then all we have to do is adjust the rotation to match. So rotation equals path follow rotation. Is that right? Rotation. How do we do this? Rotated. Returns a copy of the transform rotated around the given axis by the given angle in radians. The axis must be normalized. This is all matrix math. Fuck. We're in hell, guys. This is hell. Translated. Rotated. There is looking at. This is going to cause a problem, though. We're probably going to spin a bunch if we use looking at. Returns a copy of the transform rotated around a given axis. Built-in variant as a 3x4 matrix. Contains a basis, which is its own representation. So it's basis. So the basis rotated. Turns a copy of this basis rotated around. God bless it. Basis. I don't know how to do this. Well, this is for tomorrow. We have the basic starting point for this, and we can put in some measures to protect us for the boat stuff. But this does work. So the boat is somewhere right now. There it is. So we can increase the speed right now just by multiplying the delta. Let's make it like 10. There goes the boat. It's bouncing on the land, but it is going. So now we just got to get the rotation to match the basis. Oh, you know what we could do is give the basis. That's really easy. We'll just give it the vessel transform, or the path follow transform, and then we'll snap the Y position back. So there's our boat transform, and now all we have to do is set the basis Y. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. Is equal to the global position Y. No. Transform. I don't know how this shit works, guys. I don't mess around with this stuff nearly enough. I really do need to learn this. Transform 3D. Rotated. Basis, origin, translated. So we run this vector here. Returns a copy of this transform, translated with a given offset. Alright guys, I got a bell, but we'll work on this tomorrow. Let's rerun the game here. But Euler angles, basis, and transform. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely check it out. But we're getting there. Just sort of hacking the system to get it to do what we want. So, in the dumbest way possible. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Let's go ahead and raid out, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Much love to all you out there. Be safe. Sleep at a friend's house if you need to. If you're drunk, you drunkards. I don't know how many people are watching right now. Let's see if I can find a way to figure that out. So go to my stream, and we'll figure out who we're gonna raid based on how many people are watching. 12. Jeez, man, I should be streaming at night. What's going on? What is wrong with you guys? Hey, yo, it's LJ. We can raid him again. So we'll do that. Although he streams real short, so he might be ending it. Oh crap, he might be ending it. We're gonna raid him. Thanks for your help, Vidya. And I'll check out the Good Nears video on it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I gotta go to my creator dashboard and hit the raid button. Here we go. Counting down. Oh no, raided into raid. Hang on. We gotta cancel. Bear Like Lion, what's up? Hang on. We gotta say hello. How's it going, everybody? Crap, guys.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Tommy Sonic 5, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Bear Like Lions, how's it going? Let me pause this in the background. You got somebody talking. I'm sorry about that. I was about to raid out. We're working on a bunch of things right now. What can I break down for you guys real quick? So in our level editor here, we have, so this is going to be a dragon. It's a lake based off of Lake Nacimiento in California. So it's going to be shaped like a dragon. And we're making a inner tube game where you flap forward, left and right, and backwards and forwards. So if you've ever played an arcade game called Tubin, this will look familiar, or seem familiar. It's going great. I played custom maps, community custom maps live, and I made a new map using a new generator tool I wrote. Surf's Up launched last Monday, and we're about to break 10K players. Holy crap, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me check it out. That's crazy, dude. Congratulations. I'm glad I got to play it on the stream. I'm sure I didn't help at all with its success. But that's really cool. That's awesome. So the map editor, community custom map. So that's in Steam, the Steam community stuff. That's so cool. That's awesome, dude. Not through Steam yet, but a Godot project you can export and load the PCKs. Nice. Well, that works. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, so we're working on kind of some of the same stuff. We're working on a level editor here. So we've built in this system for drawing out, I guess you could call them chunks. We're calling them, in the level editor, we're calling them boundaries. And each of these boundaries, it takes the average of the vectors, the points for the area. It creates, from those points, it creates an area shape. And we can detect when we go inside those boundaries or exit them. So basically, we just track when we've entered and exited each one. And once we exit, once we don't have any that we're in, then we count down a timer and we reset to the last one you were at. So if you fall out of the bounds of the stage as we determine it, it'll snap you back to one of these points, these little marker points here. And we're going to set it up so we can adjust the marker, which is going to be the facing direction of the boat when it is reset on that point. And so we can just draw these all along the level. I'll show you what that's like. So if I create a new boundary here, we just add one. I just add the points like this. I need to scoot that over like that. And I think we could probably... we could probably do that. We'll go all the way to here. This one could be pretty far. So it is a concave shape, so we can't like do anything that cuts in. So you kind of have to design around that limitation. But there's another one, and so it takes the average and sets a spawn point there. A respawn point there. So we did that today, and then the other thing that we were working on is the boat movement is following a path 3D. And we got it to basically follow it exactly while still applying physics. So we don't have to apply forces at all. The boat will just follow the path as it is for the boat that it's following, for the path that we have laid out for the boat. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not 100% sure yet, because we did get some funny physics funniness, but we still have the bounciness, which is kind of the charm of it. But it has a more logical, like, it will follow that path true. So that means we can also start building curves and stuff on it as well. Gonna call it. Have a great night. All right, Bear, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. So I am actually gonna go. We're gonna do yo, it's JT. I think we had a recommendation from Zed A. Shaw. I'm following Zed. Oh, that's web dev. Sorry, Zed, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, Zed. All right, we're going to bring Bear's audience over to Yo, it's LJ. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Much love to everybody out there. Be safe. And all that good stuff.